See, that's cool and all, and
It's
I see where you're
objectively
coming
not.
from,
It's
but
the opposite of cool.
But hear me out. Hear me out. If it was always 60 degrees,
The
telling you right now,
little yellow Muppet that looks like a kid, except he's a Muppet.
Understand? I mean, to be fair,
that's the double
How-
problem. Is like
how are you about to
zero
thirst?
budget movies are trying to make things happen. Big. All right, so I've got a lot of questions today, but not the least of which being, why are you two in the same location? The medieval times thing that you casually dropped aside, I don't care about that. Although I'm sure we're going to circle back around. When you said, oh, I'm going to bring Sam in as a guest this week, I'm like, hell yeah, Sam.
I like Sam. Sam's pretty cool.
Call in. I'm waiting for a third person to join the call, and you're just like, and you come in and you're like, hey, and then I'm like, ah, cool, Dan's here, and then you're like, and Sam's here, and I'm like, what?
Dude,
Why?
I didn't say that. Sam just said, hi, Noah.
I did. That is
Oh, yeah.
exactly what
Oh, yeah.
happened.
That
Well,
is exactly okay. Fine, that
Well,
is
you see,
exactly what happened. I'm
Sam,
sorry that I
my
exaggerated.
good enemy of the podcast friend Sam showed up and was like, hey, I'm gonna crash on your couch for a few days and we're gonna go and hang out. And I'm like, wow, I'm real tired from all the stuff I've been having going on the last couple of weeks, but also sounds great, let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna let you finish your sentence.
and
but that
then-
is not how that works.
And then
that is not how that
she
happened.
rolled up on my house.
At all.
She made me take her out for dinner.
Yeah,
After a 12-hour day.
For sure.
A 12-hour day of driving. And then now here, and we went to medieval times today, and that's basically most of what happened.
No, that is embellished severely from what
I
actually
was gonna
happened.
say, Sam, what really happened? Because I don't
So-
believe a single thing Dan just told me.
My roommate
Respectfully.
is friends with someone who is a resident at one of the hospitals in Philly. And she was coming up this weekend to spend some time with her friend. And I said, hey, I know somebody who lives near Philly and who probably would be chill with me hanging out. So I texted Dan like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, listen, she didn't drop it on me, but it was still an unpleasant,
Bish, I gave you
Dan
the
in the
option
story.
to
She
back
just
out
showed up
2
at my
days ago.
apartment. Dan in real life. I mean, yeah, she told me she was going to show up.
Well, but she
like,
did
does
also
that even
just
matter?
show up. Both things can be true.
No, because I also gave you a countdown from like an hour out.
That
like,
doesn't seem right
hey,
at all.
we're an hour out. Hey, we're 20 minutes out. Hey,
You were
we're
like, hey, I'm 5
15
minutes out. Come downstairs.
Hey, I'm 5 minutes out. You asked me for a 5-minute warning so you could come let us into the parking
Doesn't
garage.
seem right. That doesn't seem like me at all.
You know, he's told me that before too, and he does not always be awake to let me into the parking.
True.
He was this time. We did go to dinner. We did go to medieval times, but that was also planned ahead of time.
That's true.
Dope as hell, though.
Dinner was, to be fair, dinner was less planned ahead of time.
Dinner was less planned ahead of time.
Dinner was very
because-
much I don't know what we're going to do until about an hour beforehand, and we just rolled with it.
And there were lots of problems with the drive up yesterday.
Yeah, it was a whole adventure.
That was unfortunate.
And then we went to
You know,
medieval
that
times
does
today.
make me think, though. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue first.
We went to, what did we do? I went and got my eyes checked today.
Yes.
Sam rode along as a, hey, I need a second opinion on whether or not these glasses make me look like an idiot. Which, I mean, all glasses do, but here we are.
That's a bad take.
I mean, most glasses do.
I would say no.
Fine. The glasses I wore today
Are we talking about glasses make Dan look like an idiot, or glasses
Yes.
make everyone automatically look like an idiot?
me. Specifically.
Okay. I thought you were trying to take the other stance, and I'm like, well, that's
no.
just kind of rude to all
No,
the
no,
other
no, no.
people
I mean,
that have glasses.
considering that I'm sitting across from him right now and
also wearing glasses.
that
I'm
would
not
be a
that bold.
dangerous take
That's
for
a
him to
bad
have
take
right
for
now
me.
because there are several things within reach that I could bludgeon him to death with.
Wow, I can't believe
Holy
Sam's threatening
shit.
violence on our podcast.
That's my end game.
Can't you?
That is
No,
my
I
end
can't.
Dan,
game.
it's her podcast now. She's there with
shit,
your
she's
equipment.
here,
You could
you're
be
right.
cut out now.
That's right.
You're
idiot.
gone, dude.
That's
This
right.
was my
All right,
end
bye,
game.
guys.
This is how I'm destroying the
Bye.
podcast.
That was how. I
can't believe you
and that's
finally
how
made it.
Sam's true enemy of the podcast position was locked in. So yeah, we went.
Insane.
So Sam came up to visit. We went to medieval times. It was a blast.
It was very fun.
We literally got out of there like
Great
less than an
time.
hour ago. Very expensive, but
worth it.
Medieval
very-
times do be like that.
But very fun. No, I know you and I went together, which is why I'm happy to talk about this with you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
A very, very good time.
Now, who was the evil knight? Was it one of the colored knights, or was it one of the a random barbarian?
You may want to
knight?
rephrase that one. There,
Yeah,
though.
okay. Is it one of the 4 knights?
Chromatic?
It's one of the 4
Chromatic
primary
is-
color knights. One of the
there are
chromatic
6
knights.
chromatic knights. Well,
Oh, there's
3
6
really, and then
chromatic
there's red and
knights?
yellow and black and white, which
There's
are technically
3.
4. It's 4 chromatic
Holy
knights,
shit.
and then the striped
I'm
the
knights.
so
stripey knights.
confused.
Okay, so current iteration of medieval times. When you and I went, there was a king and a queen. There's only a queen now,
Okay.
which
okay.
is great.
Is that maybe just this location, or is that all locations?
It's maybe I will not pretend to know. There were 4
I can't believe this location murdered their king.
I actually can. It is Jersey.
Also, it got pretty
Okay, yeah.
rowdy at the end.
Oh, is
so
it the same one that we went to?
Yeah, I'm literally like
Wow.
I literally live like 5 minutes away from it now.
less than 5
Less
minutes?
Wild.
5 minutes of walking away from it.
I can't believe that you just stumbled drunkenly home from a medieval
I
time.
won't lie to you.
5 minutes
that
away
was
from your
originally
house.
the plan. The original plan was to pregame like motherfuckers, walk the 5 minutes to medieval times, and walk back. The problem is that it was wet as fuck, and we weren't down to walk that far.
No, that's super, super,
But we
super
did stay.
fair.
We did stay tipsy.
It was a good time.
That's good.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the best way to enjoy medieval times.
That's
They
what-
come, they give you hearty food,
well.
and there's
Oh, that food was
entertainment with
so
sparks.
Here's the thing: we went and we grabbed drinks at the bar on the way in, right at the from the medieval times bar. And so both Sam and Sam has hers in front of me. I have mine in the other room. Have these big plastic drinking horns now, and they have little leather, fake leather straps on them.
A strap that goes around your neck,
goes around
so
your
that
neck?
you can hang it around your neck, so you don't have to hold it all the time.
And
What a trip.
no, it's very good. It's very, very good. It was very fun. Also, they're 22 ounces, I think.
They're pretty big, yeah.
They're expensive. Don't get me wrong. The whole drink package is
It's ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. It was actually upsettingly expensive, but you do, to their credit, get a lot of booze for what you get.
Yeah.
And they weren't light drinks. They were very
No,
strongly mixed.
That was a very strong drink, and I enjoyed it.
What drinks was it?
Well, the one that you and I both got, Dan, was the Maiden's Kiss, and it was vodka, peach schnapps,
and
and
something
then
else.
strawberry slushy mix.
Yeah, which is very
It was
good.
very good.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sold on that combo. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And then Shell got, what was it, the Knights something?
Yeah.
And it had pineapple juice in it. I didn't try
Yeah,
that.
I didn't try it either. It was very good. It was also quite a lot. There was a lot of drink. I have a feeling they know that you're going to get turned AF while in the building. The trick was for us.
No way, really.
We got turned AF before we went in the building.
The
I feel like
waiter
that's the
knew.
trick, though,
Our
right? They
waiter
have
knew,
to
for
they
sure.
have to stop serving you if you're actively drunk, right?
I feel it. But everything up to
if
that
you're
point.
on the edge and then they serve you enough alcohol to knock you way past the edge, I think that saves
that's legal.
it, right?
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
that's our official law advice. Is that is the legal loophole?
You're right. None of us here are expert lawyers, so we're safe to say that.
Disclaimer, none of the hosts of Off the Air are legal lawyers. Do not take
Legal as opposed to other kind of lawyers.
Well, we could be illegal lawyers.
That's true. I 100% support Off the Air being a bunch of illegal lawyers.
It's just like big Saul Goodman energy. It's like, you don't need a criminal lawyer. You need a criminal lawyer.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Oh,
So yeah, that was a good time. I mean, that's most of what we've done. We've got vague plans for the next day, but Sam heads back on Monday morning. So yeah, it's been
Fair
nice.
enough.
We plan on drinking and watching TV and playing drinking games and drinking some more and watching more TV and hanging
eating
out.
leftovers.
Dude,
Eating
that's the way to do it, though.
Dude, I have not been able to sit down with a friend and just get turned in a very, very long time. It has been a very long time. At least 4 or 5 months. So it's been nice. It's been a really good time. But that is why. All that to say, guys, Sam's here. Hi, Sam. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for this very warm
Sam's
welcome.
here. Shit, dude, why didn't you just mention that sooner? That's exciting.
Sam, known enemy of the podcast. Known not a doctor.
Correct.
Known, I don't know. Sam, what are you the expert of this time around? You can be a med school expert.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably as close to an expert on med school as you'll ever have on this podcast.
As we'll ever have is very accurate.
Wow.
I mean, hurtful but accurate. Doesn't feel good.
I was gonna bring in an astrophysicist next week,
That wouldn't
which
be a
technically
med
isn't
school.
better at med school.
That's not
but
better,
still.
better at med school. That's just better at science.
You know what? Shut up, Dan.
Excuse me,
I was
better
gonna
at
say brain
science?
surgeon. I was just gonna say brain surgeon. I'm like, no, that's too generic. Let's make it sound fancier. And then
That
I
made me
just
realize
And
that
then
you
left
were
you
the
said
gonna
medical field.
astrophysicist, which has nothing to do with medicine.
Wouldn't that be cool though if we could get an astrophysicist
I
on
mean,
and then we just
probably.
make them talk about the most inane shit?
I mean, we probably can. What does Neil deGrasse cost these days?
Too much, and I fucking hate him.
I mean,
so
I also
wouldn't
hate him,
want
but that's
on
why
the
he'd be a
podcast.
great podcast guest.
So, Mr. DeGrasse Tyson, have you ever had surgery to remove the giant stick that you shoved up your ass? No? Weird. Oh, Mr.
Perhaps you
Tyson,
should consider
have you
it.
ever considered not making all those stupid hot takes on Twitter? Did you see the one that he did a little bit ago where he's like, actually, aliens in movies they should be more different from us than any species on Earth
No
is from
shit, Neil
humans.
deGrasse
And it's
Tyson,
like,
you
yeah,
piece of
dude, but you
shit.
know what? We don't know what that looks like, so we chose things from around us to make it look like something that's like, oh, that's clearly not normal.
Listen.
And that's all that it fucking is, you
wouldn't-
fucking pretentious ass.
It wouldn't matter if we even knew what so different from us that it's otherworldly is, because an animator would slap titties on the female ones anyway.
Understand? I mean, to be fair,
That's the double
How-
problem is like,
how are you about to
zero
thirst?
budget movies are trying to make things happen. Big budget movies are trying to make things happen, but they need to make it happen so that it's not super like incredibly expensive, which is why we get humanoid aliens left and right. It's because they can put someone in a suit and make him an alien. Thank you, Star Trek, for existing. That's all we need.
I mean, to be fair, right? It also doesn't hurt that, like, okay, very few people, I won't say no one, very few people are fishing after, like, truly alien species, like, full on, like, Jabba the Hutt or fucking,
Ooh.
what are the tall, awkward talking boys from Mass Effect?
Oh, the Elcor.
Yeah, who are great.
The ones who are just like
This one.
inquisitively.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean by that? Oh
Exactly.
no, you're talking about the ones that are like this one says.
No, that's Geth.
That's a different species.
That's the Geth, isn't it?
No, those are the jellyfish people. The Hanar.
No, the Geth are the robots.
The Geth are robots, but the ones that say this one, this, that, the other thing are the Hanar.
Okay. I do not know or
Trust
care
me, I
about
did
Mass
just
Effect.
play through all 3 Mass Effect games. I am pretty caught up.
Oh, I see. So instead of having known medical school expert Sam on the podcast, we have known Mass Effect expert Noah.
I think that's probably
Hello?
more
Hello?
accurate.
It's me, known Mass Effect expert Noah, of the podcast hosts official. I have finished Mass Effect more than any of them combined.
That's actually
Actually,
true.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think I've finished the game. I've finished number 3, like, I think only 3 times now.
Oh, only?
It's not
Well,
hard to
I
have
finished it once.
more
Well, here's the
times than
thing,
me,
right?
Because I've never played the game before in my life.
That's fair.
When I first played the game, I got Mass Effect 2, and I loved it.
Yeah, Mass Effect
And
2
then
is
I got
great.
Mass Effect 3, and I carried my character over, and I finished it, and I loved it. And then I got Mass Effect 1, and holy shit, it was a mess.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, well, I need to take a character through all 3 games.
Because you're a psychopath.
So I did that, and I did it, and I finished it again. That was fun. And then I played Mass Effect 2 a couple more times because Mass Effect 2 is good, and I didn't get Mass Effect 1, and Mass Effect 3 is just like hot trash. But here, you know, I mean, saying on stream is a lie. I did it mostly off stream. But we played through the whole trilogy, and now I've finished Mass Effect 3 times. I'm coming up on my 4th, and by coming up, I mean it's in the future. And I'm begging BioWare to release Dragon Age 4 so I can stop playing Mass Effect and play Dragon Age instead.
Just play better games.
Have you
Well,
considered?
I'm playing Binding of Isaac and FTL. What do you want from me?
Binding of Isaac is not necessarily a better game, but it's just a more roguelike game. And FTL I enjoy very much, but also not necessarily a better
FTL
game.
is so much fun.
It's very fun. It's a very good stream game.
It is, especially when I just name all my crew members after chat.
Exactly.
And then I kill Kez
Exactly.
so many times.
And me,
Freak
multiple times.
accident. Not my fault. You only died like twice.
Oh, is that
Kez
all?
died literally every single run. Multiple times.
Have you considered being better at the game?
Kez died 3 times in one run because I kept getting someone back and saying, oh, well, here's new Kez.
Did you
And
just keep calling
then
them new Kez,
she'd
and
die
then
again.
new Kez, and then new Kez?
Yeah, pretty much.
Very funny.
It was a bad run for Kez. But for me, it was good. I got to the end several times, and don't want to say that I'm pretty much a pro FTL player, but
Okay, hold on. You got to the
name
end. Did
one
you actually
person who's
beat-
better at it than I am.
Did you beat the final boss or just got to the final boss?
Dan, I don't think I need your probing questions at this point.
So
I
Noah-
think you could stand to back off my case.
This just in, ladies and gentlemen, we have beef between Noah and Dan about something Sam doesn't understand.
Oh, so here's something. Jackson and I were talking about this last week.
Dangerous.
The funny thing about FTL
Mhm.
is you'll have people who have sunk like hundreds of hours into this game,
Sure.
and they'll list it as a game that they love so much, maybe even one of their favorite games to boot up and play every now and then.
Sure.
But then you ask them, so did you beat the Rebel flagship? And they'll be like, oh no. And it's like, well, what do you mean it's
You
one of your
can't beat the
favorite
game
games
if
if you
you
can't
don't
beat the Rebel
Beat
flagship?
the Rebel
And
flagship.
it's like, well-
Come on.
Well, it's the final boss, you know? Like, so there's these people who have never finished a run, but will
Fucking
call FTL
noobs.
one of their
Come
favorite
on.
games they've ever played.
I mean, to be fair, right? That's how I feel about a lot of Slay the Spire as well. It is not great. It is not. I'm not good at it.
That's fair.
So yeah, that's it. That's where I stand on it. I feel the same way about Slay the Spire. It's very, very difficult. And I love it very much, but it is also a nightmare to actually like beat multiple times. Let's talk about something Sam does understand. Sam, how's it going?
So medical malpractice.
Oh no.
Oh no, not
Oh
this again.
no. I can't go back to jail.
What? What? You can't say that. It's incriminating.
It's funny.
That's why
'cause
she ended up in jail the first
I've
time.
never been to jail.
I
Sam,
have, but it was to visit.
I have also, but it was for
And I didn't go
an
inside.
event.
It was just outside.
Okay, hold on. You don't get to get away with this. Sam is showing me. Sam is browsing her phone, as one does, as all guests of the podcast do eventually. And she has shown
As all
me
hosts of the podcast do. What are you
a
talking
picture
about?
of Fozzie from. Oh man, we're back on the Muppet train. Welcome back. All right.
Hang on, I'll send it. I'll send
Sam
it
is
in
showing me a
post.
picture of Fozzie Bear with Kermit the Frog skin.
No, I'm gonna send
And
it.
it is unpleasant to look at, and I don't like that she did this to me, but here we are,
You're
and I can't do
welcome.
anything
Wait,
about it.
so it's Fozzie Bear, but not
Hang on.
wearing Kermit's skin, but as if Kermit was Fozzie.
Yeah, you'll see it in about 1 second. She's sending it right now because she's a monster.
I am a monster. Thank you for noticing.
Oh,
I don't like
That's
his
great.
eyes. His eyes are
no, yeah, no, I don't either.
scary.
Yeah, no,
I can't believe the last time general recording was used was for us to share our god-awful Muppets.
See, the general recording should might as well just be renamed Muppet Haven.
Muppet hell. More like.
Well, I mean, Jesus the Muppet is my favorite Muppet. Which is,
And Jesus descended into hell to defeat the devil, so Jesus has
as we all
descended
know,
into Muppet hell
as we all know,
to defeat the
D-
Muppet devil.
D- hold on. We don't get to
His
get away
Muppet
with We don't get to get away with this. Hold on, I'll find out in about 1 second, Noah.
I am also looking to see if the devil. Oh my gosh, there he is. I
The
mean, I'm
Muppet
not surprised
devil.
at all. I guess I'm more
they
surprised
made a Muppet
that
baby
he.
Jesus. Like,
They did, well, it's not a Muppet Baby Jesus as much as it is as accurate a human being as they could craft out of Muppet material.
There's an entire subsection of like an entire like character type of demons and devils. Animal is listed. Wait, animal's not a demon.
animal is animal.
Are you sure?
He
No?
can't be. No.
Let's see,
Why
what
would
is-
they? Why would they slander animal like that?
Animal is a sweet baby child. However, we cannot pretend that Animal isn't like. We can't pretend that Animal isn't a monster.
But that doesn't make him a demon or the devil.
We don't know that.
But he
What
doesn't.
do we? How?
he doesn't have
how
the
did
character
How did
traits.
Animal? But how did Animal come into existence? Do we know?
How did any of the Muppets?
No. Animal is the wild drummer on the Muppet Show, performing with Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, a crazed percussionist with 3 styles of music, loud, louder, and deafening. I don't know. All he does is scream, beat drums, and whoa, man. It's just like he growls and screams at everybody. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that sounds an awful lot like
Okay, no, this is very important. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Frank Oz says he had his character down to 5 words: sex, sleep, food, drums, and pain.
That's terrifying.
Occasionally, 2 of those essentials, food and drums, are interchangeable.
Oh, I don't like that.
I'm sorry. Are we establishing firmly that animal fucks?
Animal fucks.
I hate this.
Yes.
Animal. Not only is animal fucks,
So-
one of animal's core character traits is that he fucks.
No, yeah, Frank Oz is very, very specific that
Frank.
it is sex,
Frank,
sleep,
no.
food, drums, pain.
Frank, why did you
And
do
every now and
this?
then,
Why
Animal
have
needs
you
to be
done
reminded
this?
that you beat the drums, not eat the drums.
Well, I mean, he's a very simplistic character. It's okay. It's like one consonant off, okay? Like, we can't hold him accountable for trying to eat a drum every once in a while. It's a lot more disturbing that of the 5 words this guy knows
No, not knows. Is. That's what he is. He is sex.
The Muppet Show 1975 pilot was called Sex and Violence. Animals chained in a basement cell when not on stage performing.
What was the Muppet Show in the 1970s?
I was not prepared for this revelation today.
Also, I was also not prepared for like the comparison between him and fucking what's the lead of the band?
I think
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem?
Yeah, Dr. Teeth.
It's
I
Dr.
was not
Teeth?
prepared for him to look like Dr. Teeth in his concept sketches.
And then
Like,
they
that
made
was-
him
No, he
more-
does look an awful lot like Dr.
They
Teeth.
really smushed his face.
They really
like,
smushed it and gave him
took it
bigger
on
eyes.
the vertical axis and went crunch,
Swanch.
squanched.
I do like Animal quite a bit. I don't love it. I won't lie to you. I don't love that those are his 5 words.
I'm not happy about this.
Also, have either of you seen Muppets Most Wanted?
No.
No.
Okay, I hadn't
Don't think
either,
so.
and I made a mistake on this page. It says on the Wikipedia page for Animal, it says in Muppets Most Wanted, Animal was the first to notice that Kermit had been replaced by Constantine.
Oh wait, I have seen that one.
And I was not prepared for Constantine, world's
just
most
has a
dangerous
mole.
frog, and he has a mole. Yeah.
That's the only difference between him and Kermit. That's how he escapes from prison. Is Kermit gets sent to prison?
Not just
on-
to prison. Not just to prison. That's the thing. It'd be one thing if Kermit was
like
sent to prison.
to Siberia.
To the Siberian gulag.
And Constantine's like, "Hey, we look exactly the same," and he goes, and slaps him and puts a mole on his face and escapes. And pretends to be Kermit for a long time. I forgot. I saw
I
that
can't
movie.
believe Constantine's doing the Dr. Evil thing.
Absolutely. I think that's probably the inspiration. But except that he is Kermit, but with a Russian accent.
You know, I will say
How was Animal the only one to notice he was talking in a Russian accent?
because he played it off as Kermit having a cold.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I will say I really enjoy one of the things honestly one of my favorite things about the Muppets is that they never, Kermit especially, but the rest of them as well, they're always played as actual like actors and people, even in the context of like interviews and stuff. Like it's not like the characters behind, like the people behind them are interviewed. It's Kermit the Frog is on, you know, Colbert or whatever.
Saturday Night Live.
Or SNL. Like it's always them themselves. And I really, really do appreciate that a lot. I think it's very funny.
That's where the Kermit in a Hood meme came from.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
Noah's mind has been exploded.
Those actually are very funny movie.
I don't think I've seen a
remember correctly.
Muppets movie that I didn't like. Muppets Take Manhattan is the one I watched a lot, but what is it? Pictures in My Head from, oh shoot, which movie is that from?
The one where
It's a sad one.
there's the one actor who's married to Willow from
From just The Muppets is what it is.
It's the actress that plays Willow on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They're on How I Met Your Mother. Her husband
I know
in
who
the
you're talking
show.
about. Yeah.
He's in like one of the newer movies. That one, I think,
Probably. This one's very sad.
because it's
I'm playing it right now.
the little yellow Muppet that looks like a kid, except he's a Muppet. Tries to make it big in Hollywood, and the Muppets are failing. And Ricky Gervais is trying to steal the studio, and there's that dragon Muppet.
Ricky Gervais also shows up in.
Ricky Gervais hates the Muppets.
Does he really?
I mean, in Muppet
In the
canon.
content, in the canon?
In Muppet canon, yes.
Okay, because
Ricky Gervais hates
he's
the
also
Muppets.
the villain alongside
Yeah,
Constantine.
yeah.
Why is Ricky Gervais keep showing up in the Muppets?
He hates the Muppets.
What do you
He
mean
wants to
keeps showing up on the
He wants
Muppets?
to
How often is he
destroy
on
the
here?
Muppets.
Let's see.
Oh, never
At
mind.
least
He was on. He's been in a couple.
Yeah, he's shown up a couple of times.
At least I think he was in the first one.
No, he wasn't. He was in Muppets 1. He was set to make a cameo, so he couldn't do it.
Okay. Who was the bad guy with the Muppet bad guy then?
That's
in
him.
the first one.
Oh,
No,
in the first one, I don't know.
Because in the first one, it was the scary dragon with the feathery eyebrows, whose name I can't remember.
Where's this playing from right now? I need to stop it. There it is.
And
Alright.
it's like they were gonna lose the theater. Like it was a whole thing.
It's always. I feel like Muppet movies do generally follow the same thread.
It's
of,
very
We're going
formulaic.
to lose the theater. The band's falling apart. Like it's always the same thing.
Animal ate all of his drums.
Which, to be fair, same. What a mood.
Dr. Teeth's teeth fell out. You know,
It's always I really do enjoy.
Miss Piggy divorced Kermit.
Which I mean, good. They were not in a healthy relationship.
they were
They
not
should
in
not
a
have
healthy
stayed together.
relationship. They shouldn't have got together in the first
No,
place.
it was very much a relationship built on abuse. They are not healthy,
Remember, kids, violence isn't love.
but it can be very funny.
No. No.
I don't think that's the takeaway at this very moment.
That's the take. That's not the take, Dan.
Are you sure? Miss Piggy is very funny,
When she karate
Yeah, but
chops
spousal
the bad
abuse
guy,
isn't funny.
not Kermit.
but Noah, you see the difference between Miss Piggy and Kermit and all other boomer humor is instead of wife bad, wife badass.
Wife mean.
No, she's
still bad.
just abusive, Dan.
She's also abusive. Yeah, no. I know people were like, oh man, I'm so upset. I can't believe, like, that was an actual take. Was, oh man, I can't believe that, like, Kermit and Miss Piggy got divorced. And I'm like, why?
I can. It's very simple.
Why can't you believe that? Because they were not good.
They were not happy together.
No. Poor Kermit, dude. The amount of times that poor frog got slapped in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
No, it's not funny. Okay, it's a little funny, but it's only funny because they're not together anymore, which makes it much more okay. No, Muppets are cool. I enjoy the Muppets quite a bit. I don't think I've seen a Muppet movie or a Muppet product that I'm like, damn, I sure do hate that.
You know what's always funny? Religiously themed vegetable comedy.
Yo, you know
Man.
what? What a perfect guest, Noah.
Oh no!
How?
Did you
What is
watch
your-
the Jonah movie?
Of course, I want to see the
Yes.
Jonah movie in theaters.
We
No, I
wore-
meant like right
Yeah,
now.
we
Did
did.
you watch the Jonah movie?
Oh no.
We can.
We could.
Oh man, where's that? Place?
Bonus content.
Now that
The hosts
you want
watch.
to tell me that doesn't
The
sound like
VeggieTales
a
Jonah movie.
bomb experience to drink to the Jonah movie?
That sounds amazing. That sounds
Watch
like
now for free on
On
Peacock.
Are
No,
you kidding me?
I firmly am 100% in support of watching VeggieTales. I think, and I have always thought that VeggieTales does religious storytelling in the best possible way. It is always fun. It is very limited in its actual, like, genuine, oh, God saved the day, God is good content. It is just a very simple Bible verse at the end. God made you special and he loves you very much. Like, that's the real takeaway of every VeggieTales episode. And that's
there's
a
that
good...
catchy computer song.
Of course. But that is like a good, like, God made you special and he loves you very much is a very good religious, like, take. Like, the fact that that is their, like, number one, like, hey, we say this every episode is very cool. I'm a huge fan.
And also, in the Bible story, Esther,
Yes.
instead of
yes.
saying what actually would have happened to the Jews if Esther had not convinced King, however you pronounce his name, because I can't.
Herod?
No. Herod is Jesus. It has an X in
wasn't
Xerxes.
it. Yeah.
Xerxes. Yeah, I'm thinking. I know it's not Nebuchadnezzar. That's the wrong one.
No,
Yeah, it's not Nebuchadnezzar.
You mean like my brother? Nevi K? Oh,
Man, I
you're
love
much more
Nebuchadnezzar and
lady than him.
Nebuchadnezzar.
But
I
anyway,
love that stupid
That's-
Buzzsaw Louie bit.
That's so good.
Anyway, continue.
I love that instead of saying what would have actually happened to the Jewish people if, she had failed, they say, and you'll be sent to the island of perpetual tickling. And they act like it's the worst thing in the world. And it's like,
Not the tickling.
No, no.
It's so good. VeggieTales does Bible stories very well, or did Bible stories very well. Modern VeggieTales is garbage and ass.
I have not
Good, don't.
even
It's
looked
bad.
at a new Veggie
It's
Tale.
bad. It's not pretty.
I feel like after
Though I will say,
the Indiana Jones ripoff that they
how
did,
dare you? That is the best thing.
that was.
Minnesota
I
Cuke
was
is
literally
all
about to
who I
say that
want.
Minnesota Cuke is the best thing that they've done.
Except for Lord of the
Minnesota
Lord of the
Cuke's
Beans is
really
very
good.
good.
Lord of the Beans is also.
The phrase "I feel stretched like chocolate pudding spread over too much ham" is very funny.
Throw it in the fire, Toto.
No, I'm a huge fan of VeggieTales. Actually, like genuinely, old school VeggieTales is very good to me. You got classics. You got your Billy Joe McGruffrey, who is a really clumsy kid.
On the first day of first grade, I'll tell you what he
Yeah,
did.
exactly. You've got your Bad Bunny song, which is a gift. You've got your cheeseburger song, which is the best thing. The fact that
Literally any silly song with Larry.
almost. I think there are definitely some that are. I did not like. What is it? Sports utility vehicle SUV. I did not like that.
I don't think I've ever heard
That's
that
probably for the best. It's not good. Boys in the Sink is very good.
Noise.
Forgot about that one, huh? Didn't you?
Oh, that's very good.
It's very funny.
Very good.
They had a caterpillar question mark do a rap in the middle of a song.
Yeah.
Where did they
He-
get
he
a
was great.
caterpillar from?
He's not. His mother
He's
was
from
a
Jonah,
caterpillar.
remember?
His mother was a caterpillar.
Oh, Khalil.
His father was a
Was a worm,
worm,
but
but
he's
he's okay
okay
with
with
that
that.
now. No, Khalil is great.
You are a skilled metal.
I love so one of my favorite things. Can we talk about this? Is one of my favorite things I think in all anime movies. And I feel like it's not as common anymore. Is when they do outtakes for an animated movie.
I love that.
I love
It's
that.
never not fun. They did
They
it
did it
for
for
Toy Story.
They did it for all of the Barbie movies.
They did it for Cars.
They did it for a lot of the VeggieTales feature-length movies.
They did it for Jonah, which was very good. They do it for a lot of things, and it is
Pixar does it for most of their movies, don't
most,
they?
but not all. Most, but not all. And it's always great. It's always so funny to see them kind of drop this facade and like do this bit. Lego Movie, I think, did it as well, didn't it? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I think it had like
I
one
think so.
outtake.
Possibly.
But like, I think it adds so much to a movie, and it always is like the most memorable lines is in that like last couple minutes of like of air quotes outtakes, and also like it lets it be a very meta thing about the movie, like the Barbie in Toy Story 2 being like bye now, bye now. Oh God, my cheeks! Like that's so funny.
Oh.
Yeah, huge fan of animated movie outtakes. VeggieTales did it well with that. The reason I bring it up is because VeggieTales did it in Jonah, where it's like, where it's doing that bit of his self-help tapes, and then in the middle of it, it goes, "You are so vain. You think this song is all about you, don't you? Don't you? Don't you?" And it's very good. It is a very, very clean bit, and I'm a huge fan. Noah, I feel like we've talked a lot.
Yes.
Noah, what'd you do this week? How was your week?
Almost nothing has happened to me this week that is worth talking about.
Fair enough.
Not in a how dare you ask way, but like literally nothing fun has happened this week.
Oh, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, no. It's because I'm prepping for end of the month. Nina and I are visiting her parents in Seattle. It's gonna
Fair
be pretty
enough. That'll be
nice.
fun.
That's gonna be
I'm
great.
very, very excited.
Hopefully it'll be less on fire.
Yeah, no, her dad sent me a screenshot of the 113 degree temps they had the other day. And I was just like, yikes, I would actually just die. And he's like, yeah, me too. Give me a case of beer. And I'm like, tell you what, when we're there, I'll split one with you.
I respect it. I respect it very much. I won't lie to you.
But man, that's hot. I'm very glad that they have central air at their house.
Hell yeah.
So
dude.
that when we are staying there, I shan't die.
I mean, you might still, but not from that.
I was very pleased when
That's
I
true.
got up here, and instead of it being 90 and 800% humidity like it is in North Carolina all the time, it was 60 and nice and cool.
It was so cool that she had to take a hoodie out of the house, which is very funny.
I had to borrow a jacket.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You did just miss. I don't know about over there, but over here you just missed a really miserable hot stretch of weather. Where the thermometer will tell you it's 85 degrees.
Nope.
And then real life will tell you it is 97 degrees. I left the house, or I left work one day, and I checked my phone, and I'm like, okay, 85. That's not too bad. And I walk outside, and I'm like, this is a toasty 85. I get in my car, and it says it's 93, and I'm like, I see, because that would do it. My phone is a liar.
Like a liar, see?
Yeah, no, it was very warm here. It's been good though. It's been like, for the most part, I haven't had any issues. The biggest issue is just that my office is freezing all the time. They keep it at a nice, which sounds great, a nice solid 65, 70 degrees. The problem is that coming in with the heat outside, they have to have it on full blast all the time to make it work, to keep that at the temperature. And I am directly in front of a vent, so I get. I'm at a nice gentle 60 at all times, to the point where I wear a blanket half the day.
I understand why that sounds unpleasant to you, but man, I would kill for that. We found out that my office actually, my office does not have air running to it.
I'm sorry?
We found this out.
That sounds like a building code violation.
When some of the... Oh, here's the funny thing. There's a vent in my ceiling. It definitely used to run. But, we were going around checking all the offices in the hall because some people were like, hey, it's too hot. Hey, it's too cold. And then some of the vents were closed. So they opened up my vent and it wasn't changing anything. And nothing was moving. So our maintenance guy popped his head in the ceiling and found that my pipe that runs AC to my office had been disconnected.
Oh.
Which is why I've been baking in my office with just a little portable desk fan that I'm like, all right, well, this helps. This is okay. But it made so much sense. It made so much more sense. It was such a mess. And he popped his head up and he's like, I shouldn't even be surprised anymore. I'm like, what? Do I not even have a line running to me? He's like, you don't. I was like, excuse me?
I'm sorry, you what?
Are you kidding?
That's great. That's just fabulous. We love to see it.
Amazing. That's how? I'm just confused how that happens.
What I'm going to guess is whoever had the job before me probably thought it was too cold in there and they closed the AC vent, or at least really almost closed it. And then with the AC running in the rest of the building, a few other people had theirs closed as well. We have a few old people working there and everything like that. I'm going to take a guess that the pressure built up too much in the system and my vent popped is what I'm going to guess.
Hog wild.
Feels like shouldn't happen.
No, it does feel like it shouldn't happen, doesn't it?
If there is a way for air to escape, it shouldn't do that. Which then leads to the alternative that someone physically disconnected your vent.
Which is objectively much funnier.
I'm not lying to you when I say worse. I am concerned that happened. If it weren't for the fact that I was in the room when the maintenance guy found it, I'm not going to lie to you. I would borderline feel like it was him trying to save money. The man. Okay, so here's the thing, right? It gets hot in big empty rooms with gigantic windows. Yeah, we all know this.
Yeah.
So we only work in that room 2 days a week. The rest of the time, the air conditioner's just not on in there. We keep it at a balmy 80 or something like that. Maybe 75, something, it's not hot, but it's not cool either. We had to fight to get him to turn it down to 71, a massive room, so that it would cool down enough before people got there,
Yeah,
because we're there, we have stage lights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey.
Ridiculous in there.
Exactly. The stage gets so hot. The stage, we set that to 70 and the rest of the room to 71, and then right before people start to get there, we bumped them both to 72. Makes sense. You can't freeze out old people. But,
you can, and it's very funny.
It is very funny because the one day that I'm sitting there, I had to take off my overshirt because I was so freaking hot. And the person next to me was like, oh my gosh, I'm dying too. there's this old lady who helps out with us, and she's like, "Oh, I actually thought it was quite nice in here." And I'm like, "Yeah, you would think that, but like,
Oh, ma'am. Oh, no.
Same, fam. Same.
Can't relate.
That old lady gets it, dude. Nice, gentle.
the
80
old lady
degrees.
does not." No, holy shit, dude, no. I want my
mean-
life to be 60 degrees year round at all times, because that means I can wear my cool jacket and not my, oh, I'm just wearing a shirt.
I mean, I
You
won't
know?
lie to you. Today was nice. I did wear I did get to wear hoodies outside, which I do enjoy. I do like having an extra layer on, but I also like not having to think about my how hot it is and just being able to wander around outside in shorts and a t-shirt and do nothing.
See, that's cool and all, and
It's
I see where you're
objectively
coming
not.
from,
It's
but
the opposite of cool.
But hear me out. Hear me out. If it was always 60 degrees, you would also still not have to worry about what temperature it was, because you would know it's always 60
yeah,
degrees.
but I wouldn't be able to wear shorts, Noah. Pants are very restrictive.
You should both try
I-
wearing a skirt.
Skirts do
It's
sound better.
very freeing.
Skirts do sound better.
I don't think a skirt would actually make my situation like better, but also I've not tried, so I can't say that it would
I
be
think it
one way
would.
or another.
If you got a skirt made of the correct material
I think Noah would look cute in a skirt.
at just below the knees, I think you'd be surprised at how warm it is.
I buy that.
I don't want warm. I don't want warm at all.
So what
I
I'm
want
hearing is
cold.
Noah should be wearing a mini skirt.
Yeah.
I'm here
It's
for
called
it.
short shorts, Dan. Man, I was watching a movie the other day, and it's called Sleepaway Camp. If you've heard of it, possibly. It's a slasher from '83, and it's, you know, someone at the camp is killing people. But
Presumably.
the way it captured summer camp culture was actually borderline triggering. It was so accurate. Except
don't
for
know
the part
anything
where they
about summer
delicately
camp
peppered
culture.
in the 80s, where it's like, the croppest of tops and the shortest of shorts.
I don't see the
You've got
problem.
like,
This was
You've got,
clearly
like, their
a
one
secular
guy-
summer camp.
I was gonna say that's the problem. Is that
exactly.
I was gonna say I went to a Christian summer camp and that wouldn't have flown. But like I have to assume at a real summer
Ooh,
camp.
I'll do you one better. I was a camp counselor
That's
at a
just you're a
Christian
fool.
summer camp.
Oh, Sam,
Not
we
the
gotta
same-
we gotta trade camp counselor at Christian summer camp
We
stories
still got
then.
time. You want to talk about that now?
We got some time. I'm ready to drop all talk about sleepaway camp, because all I wanted to talk about was the fact that there's a guy wearing a crop top that literally just covered his nipples,
That's
and
That's
super
amazing.
short cut
That's
off
a
jean
whole-
shorts.
I don't see the problem.
That's
Um,
incredible.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
He's living his best life.
best
Noah.
outfit.
Leave him alone.
He is living his best life. Sam, can you I'm gonna type in chat which one I worked at.
There's no way you worked in the same chat, the same one.
There's no way. I worked in one very near.
No, I would have
Pittsburgh.
known. Because I know of two in the area that honestly had almost the exact same name. Okay, yeah, so, and I knew all the staff members, so I knew Sam was not there.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I worked at one in college, very near to Pittsburgh. Specifically that served underserved communities and like let kids go for free if their
Oh, that's
parents
nice.
couldn't afford it, which was
Okay.
good, and I supported it. However, I have spoken recently with some friends of mine that also worked there when I worked there, and we were talking about how problematic a lot of it was.
Oh no. Oh, was there like white savior action kind of going on?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
A lot of it.
Oh no.
The director,
That sucks.
a couple of the, like, I can think off the top of my head of at least 4 of the, like, regular counselors that worked there every summer for a long time, that was their whole MO.
Oh no.
And like it just, looking back, I hope I was not part of the problem, but oh boy, there was a problem there. There was a big problem.
Yikes.
Uh,
Yikes. I
but, like, we-
100%
we had all like
get what you're talking about.
the also like pretty standard Christian summer camp things, like, you know, ultra strict dress code for the girls, no purpling. We had to have Bible study every day before we could do big camp game.
the female counselors were held to like a ridiculous standard. Phones were the devil. Fun story.
So,
I got in trouble with the director because I learned some like chiropractic techniques in undergrad because I have I have problems and I have friends that have problems, so I was taught a couple techniques to help kind of mitigate that. Things that I was taught how to do and I knew how to do well. And a friend of mine, the week before, she had fallen off like one of the low ropes course obstacles because she was helping her campers get through it. So it was on a weekend when there were no campers there, and I was like doing one of these techniques on her to help her out because she was in a lot of pain. And it wasn't like we had really any way to go see a doctor other than the camp nurse, and all she was going to do was give you some Advil. And the director came up and was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm doing this technique that I learned. You know, you know that I'm a pre-med major. Like, we talked about that in my interview. And, you know, so-and-so was in pain, so I was doing this because I know it's something that helped." And I got like a 45-minute lecture about how those sorts of techniques and massage should only be done in a sexual context between a man and his wife.
What?
And how dare I do that on the front porch of the camp.
Chiropractic, the sexiest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yes. And one of the counselors got fired because she was swearing, not at the children, mind you, just on the phone after hours. And one of the kids went home and told their grandparent, and the grandparent called the director, and the director did like a whole investigation. And I got questioned, and I was like, I never heard her say that to any of the kids. If that happened, she did not do it around me. And he still fired her with like absolutely no real evidence. I could go on for hours about that place. Loved the kids.
So you were also a day camp then?
No, we were actually
no one
a
slept
sleepaway
overnight?
camp. We were actually a sleepaway camp. It was like
we were just a day camp. So after hours, things got a little weird for us. We had Bible studies, staff Bible study after dinner. Technically our only free time was between 3 and 6, but the chores that we had to do because it was a horse ranch, they weren't that intense. So it was pretty much after 3 p.m. until like 11 p.m. we were let loose to do almost anything we wanted with no supervision, which I want you to take a wild guess as how well that went over with an all teens staff.
Not
Great.
very well.
It went over phenomenally for most of them.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, no one ever got knocked up.
Like I said, phenomenally.
You know what?
That's
that's
cool.
all you can ask.
Yeah, listen, dude.
We did have a grown adult man
No.
off camp time
Oh no.
hook up with a 17-year-old.
Oh,
And this was a man
no.
who had been married to one of the other staff members.
Oh,
He was like
no.
22, and this was his like first year helping out as her husband, and he cheated on her with one of the people who was just there. But don't worry, guys, don't worry. Firstly, obviously there were like, I'm not going to call her an innocent party, but I'm not going to blame her for any of this as much as I'm going to blame him, a grown adult man who knew better.
As you should.
As you should, yeah.
Takes two to tango. However, she was allowed back the next year immediately because she was part of the horse staff, and the horse staff were the director's favorites because the director is a horse girl and the reason the camp exists. And they were short people, and this person apologized. And well, I mean, when people apologize, you have to accept their apology. So she came back and ran the program when she came back.
Wait, who is this? The child,
The child.
or the person's
child,
wife?
yeah.
Wait, why was a child
No,
running
the person's
a program?
Okay, so here's the thing. We all had way more authority than any of us should have. I ran the barn class at age 15 because I was the only one interested in teaching the barn class. There's technically like an adult supervisor for each area. but the kids are allowed to, as camp counselors, we are encouraged to lead and do everything. We built our like curriculum and stuff like that and taught people things.
That's wild.
And
all of the
let me
counselors,
tell you,
all of the staff at the camp I worked at were adults. No one was under the age of 18, specifically for
I
liability
wish that was the case for us. It's much safer that way. When you have a host of people age 13 through 18 as your primary staff. And then there were a couple adults that were full-time, and none of the adults stayed overnight.
Where you
which
worked,
is good. Which is good.
I know more than a few people who worked out that way.
You did. My upstairs neighbor actually was.
Yeah. No. I'm pretty sure that's how. If I'm not mistaken, that's how he got introduced into like the circle.
It is
because he was part of that crew. Because there was a whole gaggle of you that worked at that one, and you all were your own little clique.
We were.
And it was.
I still talk to some of the people. But it is telling which people that I still talk to versus the people who I have cut ties with.
Yeah, no, it is. It was everything I hear about this place makes it sound worse and also worse.
Yeah. It was a mess. It was a mess. I did like doing blacklight puppet shows though. Those were fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
Blacklight Puppet Show is my favorite alt rock band.
Blacklight Puppet Shows set to Christian top 40 hits.
That's
incredible.
I'm sorry.
That's so good.
We had anywhere between
so good.
I think anywhere between 2 and 4 that we would learn for the week. And there would be like our biggest one would be at the end of the week. And then we'd pepper the other like 1 to 3 throughout the other days because it was a 1-week camp. Staff were there the whole time. Kids only came during the day. But Friday was a long day, so we did, extra fun things. But yeah, no, we had like, man, it was a whole thing.
You want to hear another story about the camp I worked at?
I need you to know that I'm sitting across from Sam, and she genuinely just got this like weird, like I've been to Vietnam and come back look in her face.
Oh no! I'm so excited.
So the director was very adamant that staff should not date. If you came in and you were already dating, that was fine. And after we left, if we started dating, that was fine. But while you were there, no one should date because that takes your focus off of the kids. And we don't want the kids to think about
our director
dating.
Wanted us to date each other.
I'm sorry?
Oh no, because if the kids thought about dating, then the kids would think about sex, and then we'd have to keep the girls away from the boys, because then the kids would meet up in the middle of the night and have sex, and they're too young for that. Which, like, okay,
I was gonna say, how old were the kids at your camp, first of all?
It depended on the week, but they range, like, it was usually only like, so like 1 week we had 7, 8, and 9-year-olds.
Which is a very normal thing.
Which is a very normal age. The next week we would have like 11, 12, and 13-year-olds.
Still totally fine.
And then we had 1 week where we had people from the ages of 13 to 18.
No!
Well, 17.
Oh.
You couldn't be 18 and go to the camp. And then the week after that, we had another group of like 9 to 12-year-olds. So it depended on the week how old these children were, which is why all of the counselors had to be adults.
No, that makes sense.
But so they were very like weird about adults, mind you. We were grown adults having relationships with each other. Except for 2 people who I won't mention by name because that's rude.
Docs.
They're married now, which is very annoying. But they were held up as the example of how to act. If you were there and you were in a relationship, and if you were in a relationship, you needed to tell Brett immediately because he needed to know so he could make sure you weren't doing anything inappropriate as counselors.
Please
because
tell
we
me
were
these
the
2 were
example.
fucking in the background.
They
constantly.
absolutely were. I walked in on them in the sanctuary space.
That's so
oh my gosh.
good. That's so good.
Holy shit.
And I, minding my own damn business.
Because you ain't a narc.
Because I'm not a narc or a snitch. I just quietly closed the door, walked around to the other entrance in the basement, and went into the bathroom and did what I was there to do.
That's so good. Oh my god, I love that. That's so
They're
good.
married
Alright,
now. They
I
have a
love that a
baby.
lot. I love that a lot.
I love that a lot.
I love that a lot. I love that a
Good
lot.
for, good on them
But
for
what I
keeping it
also
going.
need to say
Oh, I hated
is,
them. She had a white
I'm gonna go
savior
out on a limb
complex,
here,
Gross.
right?
and he's
I'm
definitely
gonna go out on a
gay.
limb and say Brett was way too obsessed with everyone having sex and
Yeah.
sex
Yeah, he got
things.
fired. He got fired literally the summer after I worked there, and then the new director asked me to come back and be first aid supervisor.
Aw.
my gosh.
But I couldn't because it was not money, and I needed a car. Working
Oh,
at
it
the
was a
summer camp
volunteer
is
thing?
not lucrative. Oh no, I was paid, but less than half
Oh.
of minimum wage.
Yep.
Because that's how
I
summer
got
camps
excited
work.
because maybe we both worked at a volunteer summer camp.
No,
Have you guys considered asking for money?
I did. I
And
asked for more money,
we
and they
didn't
said
get
best
paid.
we can do is an extra $300, and that still wasn't enough.
That's very little.
And I was like, listen, I respect the work that you're trying to do, and I love summer camp, and I love these kids, but I need a car. Can't do it. Sorry.
What a nightmare. What a wild
Dead
and wacky
amazing.
world you both lived in. I mean, I did go to summer camp, but it was, it was a very different summer camp.
I've thought of another wild story.
Go for it. Let us know what you have something you wanted to say.
No, just the fact that my place was an all volunteer and our director prided herself on having the largest all volunteer teen staff with almost no turnover in America.
That sounds to me like a
That
lot like
sounds
exploitation.
something like you shouldn't be proud of that.
Yeah, that sounds an awful lot like exploiting children.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, it does,
I don't-
doesn't it?
I don't know if I want to make that take, but also maybe don't exploit kids.
No.
Anyway, I almost
I think
got
you can
attacked
make
by
that
a
take.
bobcat at that.
By a bobcat?
Yes.
Huh.
So one of the weeks, a child in my cabin got swimmer's ear. And I had to get up in the middle of the night and call the nurse and get her to bring me ibuprofen because we weren't allowed to keep it
Okay.
in the cabins because these were children from underprivileged areas. They might exhibit drug-seeking behavior. So
Of
we
course.
had to keep
Of course.
NSAIDs away from them. I get a little angry when I think about that. So I had to walk out at 3 a.m. in the dark in BFE to go meet the camp nurse. And she took her sweet time getting to the rendezvous point at the head of the trail that led to the girls' cabins. Because the cabins were in the woods. So I'm standing there in the dark, and I had turned off my flashlight because there were a shit ton of moths that were dive bombing me, and I was tired of it. And as I see her flashlight starting to crest the hill, I hear a blood-curdling scream that I later found out was a bobcat. And I turned on my flashlight and started swinging it around the woods like, what is happening? And probably what happened was I didn't actually almost get attacked by a bobcat. Probably it was walking through the woods, saw me,
And scream.
and screamed because it was also scared and took off in the other direction.
However,
But I thought I was going to die that night. And when Carla
I
got to the
cannot
top of
blame
the
you.
hill,
which camp? I mean, we can say no, can edit it out. Which camp was it for you?
it was called
In chat.
Oh, I didn't see chat. I'm sorry. I'm looking at. Listen, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on right now, and I didn't see the chat.
It is in chat. It was just outside of Pittsburgh, just far enough outside Pittsburgh that it was actually like the wilderness. It was actually a really beautiful camp. I liked my coworkers, other than a few exceptions. And I liked working with the kids. The kids were great. It was just it feels really exploitative to bring a bunch of kids from the inner city and leave them in a camp for a week with people they don't know and force them to do Jesus stuff and then tell them that they're wrong for feeling ways about their bodies. That's normal for children their age. I have a lot of feelings about that.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie to you, but my camp experience is much the same. I went to camp, not counseled camp, because I'm not an idiot. But much the same experience of, it wasn't ideal. Wild. God, you guys have fun.
We had this one's funny. This one's funny. There was a week where we only had 2 white kids in the whole camp. That was it. And the little girl, it was a little girl and her brother. And she was sweet as pie, very sweet, very respectful, got along great with all the other kids, listened to the counselors, all of that. Her little brother
was clearly learning some very racist ideologies from her parents. And when he got put in a cabin with all other little boys that were not white, he started saying some really not okay things. And this child was only like 7.
Oh no!
Because that was during our like little kids week, right after the 4th of July, because it was only a 4-day week. That kid also ran away twice and would not come back unless one of the white counselors went and got him.
Oh no!
And like that's real dangerous because we were literally just in the woods.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you were in the middle of
My
nowhere.
recording crashed.
A little
Keep
bear
talking.
could have eaten him.
Your recording crashed. Oh no!
Oh no.
You guys, I'm saying this out loud so that Noah can't get away with it. His recording crashed.
That's unfortunate.
Did it crash? Like, is it gone? Okay.
I may take this opportunity to step out for just a second.
I mean, we gotta wrap up in a second anyway.
Okay.
So that actually works. Noah.
Well, I did wrap the story.
That was the end. Yeah, that was the end. Do you want me to just... You want me to run this outro through? Alright. Alright, guys. So, Noah's recording crashed somewhere through that story, and we're not sure where. So Noah is going to hear all this and have to suffer through editing it together. But, Sam, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. I know my presence is a gift.
Do you have any plugs you want to throw out? Twitter, socials, anything like that?
I mean, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I sometimes tweet amusing things.
Usually it's very awful and terrible.
Usually it's about D&D. I have to look and see what my actual Twitter handle
Sammy
is.
Iami?
I think it's Sammy Iami 17.
I think that's exactly what it is. At Sammy Iami 17. All the hosts, Noah and I's Twitter and Twitch and all that are in the show notes. I am going to wait for Noah to come back next week to do the Patreon shout-outs. But if you want to support the show, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/offtheair. And on the biggest thing you can do is go to iTunes and give us 5-star reviews. Because now that we've passed Joe Rogan,
we got to get
to the Office Ladies. Yeah, we got to beat the Office Ladies. That is how it works. Until then, I will see you guys next week. And I'm not good at outros.
Good night, we love you.
Good night and good luck. How's that, Noah? You happy with that?